Okay, when it comes to editing, saving time is saving money and more importantly, saving your sanity if you're piled with tons of work. So what I want to do is I want to take a look today at a tool called Firecut and see if it's a tool that can actually help you move the ball forward and save you time, money, and energy if you're out there dealing with clients that have a lot of stuff, if you have a YouTube channel you're trying to put together, any of those things like that. Now, full disclosure here, Firecut did send me a sample of this software to check out to see if it would help my workflow. I'm not being paid for this. They don't get to review it in any way, shape, or form. They literally just sent it to me and asked me to get my opinion on it, and that's what I'm doing today. So let's go ahead and take a look at this and see if this is a software that might be worth adding to your arsenal to save you time, money, bring a little happiness back in your life, right? All right, let's go ahead and take a look at it. All right, so I am here now in Adobe Premiere, and the first thing you understand about this is that it does live as an extension here in Adobe Premiere. So what I want to do is I'm going to come to Window, and I'm going to come to Extensions, and then you'll see once I've downloaded this and installed it, there is Firecut. So I'm going to open up Firecut real quick. And then it's going to pop up and you're going to see this is kind of where you start to see just how many tricks and trades this thing can do. Now there's a lot of options here, and I'll be honest, doing this I found that some of these things, some of it are beta, they're always improving this and doing it out. Some of these things really make a lot of sense for me and really practical. Some of them are cool ideas that don't really make that much sense the way that I work. So the cool thing about this is you can kind of pick and choose the tools that you need. I'm going to show you one right away, one that I find absolutely essential that almost makes this plugin worth its weight just by itself without any of this other stuff. And that is going to be the remove silences. Now you can see here, I've got a YouTube video that I have. And as you can see, if I come here, this thing was 29 minutes and 21 seconds. I have an almost 30-minute video. But what I can do here, if I hit this remove silences, basically you can dictate how you want it. Do you want a loose cut, tight cut? I've actually found I prefer it to be pretty tight. That just makes sure that when you cut in right away so there's no spaces in between. I'm gonna do a pretty tight cut there. You can do the whole scope, and you can basically analyze the format and decide the cutting algorithm if it's for a video that's less than 10 minutes, more than 10 minutes, and there's the turbo, which is kind of experimental. This is a 30-minute one. I'm just gonna go and let it roll. And you're gonna sit there and see, it's gonna go ahead and encode my Firecut base right to start off on here. And look at this. Look how fast this goes. Bam, 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 bam. Look at that. That is absolutely beautiful. It's cutting my things, and look at that. It cut 106 silences out of my clips. And now, when I come back here, it has cut this thing down. Look at that. It cut 7 minutes out of my edit just in silences. That's 7 minutes I didn't have to sit through. So after remove silences, my next favorite feature is actually this one right here, which is add chapters. And what's really nice about this, I can sit here and if I hit go, it's gonna go ahead and transcribe the audio here on my video, which is something you now expect in Premiere and everything like that. But what's really cool is it's transcribing it, but it's also analyzing it. It's using AI to analyze it. And what that means is it gives you a couple of really options, two of them that I think are really, really good. Now, the reason why I really love this feature so much is because once it's transcribed the text, it does two major things for you. I'm gonna scroll down because the first one's just really, really nice. As you can see, it essentially gives you chapter ideas that you can do. And as you can see, this is a very, very good idea of using the AI to analyze my thought process when I was doing this and giving me a great time code thing that I can analyze. And what I love about this is I can copy the timestamps to my clipboard, and then I can post that in my description in my YouTube channel and get chapter markers very, very easy in YouTube. If you've ever had to do this in YouTube, I will manually have to go through there and mark the times in my video. I love this, saves me a ton of time. And the other nice thing about this is you can add markers in it, and if you want, you can actually put these little options if you want to actually have titles for those chapter things. However, there's one other thing about this chapter marker that I actually find incredibly useful, and it's undersung, especially if you're doing social media and YouTube stuff. And that is that it'll actually give you title and description suggestions. These are actually pretty engaging little titles, and I'll probably modify this and do this, but I love the fact that it gives me that suggestions. It's an AI helper. But now if I put this up, there's a couple other things that I think are really interesting. Like you can do this remove filler words. If you're someone that has a lot of ums or and you need to cut those out, those are really good if you have an interview and you just got to really cut them out. This remove repetition is very, very interesting too. What it'll do is it'll basically analyze your videos. So if you're running a YouTube channel like me, and I tend to repeat things a lot when I'm recording, so I may flub up and go, it's gonna go there and remove that repetition. This is something that I really love the idea of it. I tend to pick and choose a lot when I'm doing it, so I don't trust a computer just completely deciding what I should cut and not. Also works really well if you're reading off a teleprompter and someone screws up when they're coming back, then it works extra great. If you're kind of more off-the-cuff speaker like me, you gotta be a little wary about it, just so you're aware of that. They also have a remove profanity thing here, which is kind of interesting if you just need to remove the profanity and make sure there's no bad words to get in trouble. It's kind of a nice little thing to go there. Now, there are two other things that I find very, very helpful in this program that I use a lot, and the first one is actually gonna be this add zooms. Now, this is interesting. You can sit there and it can analyze what you're saying and essentially punctuate it with zooms. I'm gonna basically pop this up just to see. And what I like here is you can see where the zoom is. And now you can actually move this around. So not only, let's say I wanna do like a 185% zoom, which is too much, I don't wanna do that. But let's say I wanna do like maybe I punch into maybe 25% and I wanna make sure my head's not cropped off. See, I can move this around. So I'm gonna make sure when it pops up, I do wanna make sure that I'm gonna center this up just so it's, you know, kind of centered like that. And it's gonna keep my head done. You can animate it or not. I don't wanna do that. I'm gonna hit go. It's gonna analyze it. And you'll notice what it says here. It's emphasizing, it's finding the emphasis word. So it's using AI to decide what makes sense to do a zoom in. And bam, there you go. Once we are good, you can see now that it's added the zooms. And what's really cool, you can see it actually adds this. I'm gonna zoom in just so you can see. It actually adds it as an adjustment layer. So if I'm sitting here and talking, boom, you can see it pops in right there, gets that thing, and it pops out. But what I really love about this is that you can see here, if you scroll down in your transcription, where it added those zooms. It's very, very good. And let's say for some reason, I have this one and I want it to be longer. Well, check this out. I can just drag this and make this zoom longer, and it'll make the zoom longer right there on the bottom. Now, there are two other things I think I would like to point out that's really cool. The first one is this beta one. It's called a Find BRoll. And what's really cool is this will automatically come in here. So what it's gonna do, it's gonna go in story blocks, and it's gonna go ahead and analyze your text and then find the appropriate B-roll that it thinks to put in there. Now, this is one of those things that I'm gonna go ahead and you can do video, image, GIF, whatever, transitions, you name it. You get a lot of personal things. If you have something besides story blocks, you can find other things like pixels or Giphy or something like that. But I'm gonna go ahead and say find B-roll. Now, this is one of those things, if you're like me, I tend to do my own B-roll, but daggone, it's nice knowing that there's an option to go and find this B-roll and you're not spending time on story blocks trying to find the B-roll. But look at this, it gave me previews. And of course, it's talking about camera shooting, projector lens, maybe a small case, I talk about the case, spotlight, I talk about traveling with this, and lenses. And if you see here, it just really does a cool job. I'm talking about being on a set and doing all that stuff. Very, very appropriate footage right there. And because, you know, I have it here as its own separate layer, if that take is too long, well, boom, I can just come and do something like this, and it's gonna go and do that. And once again, you'll notice it analyzes based on your text using AI where to put this B-roll. And for me, the only thing that I think is really helpful if you are a content creator and need to do a lot of basically short clips beyond the main one, this one will actually do a create highlight section. So what this will do, this will basically come in there and you can come with the number of highlights you want to get from the footage. This is just a really nice thing to do, and the fact that clients are always wanting you to take footage and give you variations. And I really like having this thing because you'll do that, you'll find the things, and you'll export it out, give you that option as a shooter and as an editor, make your clients happy. And then of course there's a multi-track function. If you're in a situation that you want to basically have multi-track speakers and you want to cut between them, this is very, very good for broadcasts and stuff like that. You can analyze it and it's going to cut between the speakers or the wide shot and give it. And as you can see, you can do up to 7 tracks of video, and you can basically add speakers as you need to, and you can also label the speakers. So if I want to put like Bryan and maybe there's Bob, I can do that. It's going to find the speakers and it's going to cut that thing and auto cut it in between what you need. So anyway guys, there you go. That is the Firecut extension for Adobe Premiere. It's actually something that I've been playing with it now for a few weeks, and I cannot believe how fast I've incorporated this from something that was just something I was playing with to now it's become kind of an essential tool in saving me time, sanity, and money when I am editing. Anyway, thought it was something you might find interesting. I'd love to hear what you have to say with this. Leave me notes and comments down below, and yeah, go out there, keep on shooting, and yeah, I'll talk to you soon.